So, here's my thought. My thoughts. Um, sorry, I was just staring at something like, oh my goodness. Every day I see something new that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm older now. So I wonder, I've been thinking, and I've been listening to Caroline Miss, and I'm wondering, like, I want to truly have a kind heart and a forgiving heart and a generous heart. And I want to trust that what's happening is happening for the best. And I think I have been, and I do believe in feeling my feelings, 100%. I also think that intellectualizing has to come into it at a certain point, because if you're just feeling your feelings, like, and not considering extenuating circumstances of the people who are triggering these feelings, I don't know, there's not a lot of kindness or generosity that I can really find, or trust. So, yeah. Um, so I'm just thinking, like, I think focusing on the circumstances, like with Abram, I've always been generous and forgiving, in the sense that, like, I mean, not even because I know the situation so well and I know him so well, and like, I've never blamed him, basically. Maybe once in a while I get a little angry, but that's like the lower side. That's like me being like not understanding, ununderstanding. Um, but with the people around him, specifically the mother and the new wife, um, I have at times been understanding and forgiving and generous in thoughts and actions. It's not like they need my kindness or my forgiveness or anything like that, but I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, within myself. I understand that the mother has been through a lot of trauma herself, and so is now doing what she believes is best. Which I don't agree with, but it's neither here nor there now because it's happened. But she is who she is, and if it weren't for that, he wouldn't be who he is, because she is his mother. And I wouldn't change anything about him, so that means I can't really wish her any different. Right? Which is a way to forgiveness for me, for her. And as far as generosity, it's like, yeah, she had a rough life. I mean, I don't really know much about her life. I just know that her marriage sucked, and she was married to a horrible person. Sorry, that's awful. Ron loved his father, but he was not a good husband or father. Ron is just particularly dutiful, and and the reason that she wouldn't want her son to marry someone older than him is because she was 6 months older than her husband, and because she was miserable in her marriage. Apparently that therefore translates into every situation in which a woman's older. I don't know. But obviously there's trauma there. You know, obviously, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, she's not a happy person. And I feel bad for that. And her reactions are it's just hard when someone else's life trauma who doesn't even know who you are affects your life so much. Like all the way across the world, right? The butterfly effect. Someone's mean to her when she's a child, and I don't get to marry the man of my dreams. My dreams, but the man I love, right? Like, all right. So then there's these feelings of, there's bitterness and resentment there, you know, which is not something I'm a fan of. And it's something I want to let go. So when I feel those, I relax and I release. And just every once in a while, it's just like a wave of grief because I remember something about him, something we did together. Anyway, and with the wife, you know, she's completely innocent. She has no idea. And she's in love with him, so she gets to marry him and she's happy. And whatever judgments I have about certain things that have to do with her, they don't really matter. Whether or not I believe they're true, which I do. She is who she is, and if she makes him happy, then good. It hurts. But my question then is, like, can we be considered forgiving and kind and generous of spirit and compassionate and trusting the universe and still have these uncomfortable emotions and thoughts that are not great? Right? Are the two things compatible? And I'm wondering if it's intention that makes a difference. I don't know. It's something I have to think about. So I am grateful for this experience because it is allowing me to grow spiritually. So even if you're miserable out there, just know that you can always choose to have a grateful day.